business owner? Entrepreneur? Want to learn how online marketing can improve your business?
Your questions.
Our advice.
This is Not a Real Job.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 88 of Not a Real Job. This is the most magnificent podcast you will listen to that is going to turn your passions into cash, guaranteed. Asterisk, not guaranteed.
Who are you?
My name's Leah Kelford, and I am a guest on the show today.
All right, and I am Joel Kelly, and I do advertising in Canada.
And I am Chris Van Patten, and I do things in places.
Now, of those things that you do in places, what particular place is this?
So we are in London. It's about 2 hours after we met with Steve, the inimitable Steve, for the first time
I'm going to
ever.
say the most smoochable man I've ever met.
There was no smooching.
No, but I
Wanted to.
Sure. Absolutely, yeah.
No, it was. I think I speak for everyone when I say that. Literally, Steve walked out of the room and we all said, "That guy is awesome."
Yeah.
So Steve, great to see you. Great to meet you. And we're recording more episodes now because, as you may have heard previously, the internet in Barcelona is terrible, and it's honestly a pain in the neck. So we're going to try to get as many packed in this weekend while Joel, Leah, and I are in London as possible.
Yeah, I want to talk just how awesome the internet is. Like, I know it's crazy, but Chris and I met on internet when Chris was 14.
I was young.
When we met
Sounds
because
predatory.
we were
Well, it was.
I was only a couple
Yeah.
years older than Chris, so I mean, and look, we compared dicks like people do on the
Sure.
internet.
Wow.
ASL, the whole thing.
That's a joke, police. No, but like we met because we were both alpha testers of screenwriting software. We were both kids, just kind of
Loved the cinema.
loved the cinema, and we met on the internet, and we like started talking about making movies, and like I was writing scripts for movies that Chris was going to direct. It was like super cool, like the
Yeah.
best story of how communities on the internet of diverse and crazy different opinions and interests can meet.
We did a Kickstarter long
We did-
before
we
Kickstarter
did-
was the massive sensation it is now.
We did like such an impressively
impressively feeble Kickstarter.
impressively feeble and failing Kickstarter.
We probably got about 25% of the goal.
It was
man.
heart-filled, guys.
Which was
It was
about
heartfelt.
$25.
Just
Like,
goodness.
Well, that was the summer. That was my first summer living in New York, and I remember filming the video with my cell phone in
yeah.
this literally infested room with bed bugs everywhere. Literally had to move out of this place because of the bed bugs.
Did you see the bed bugs?
Oh, I
How
felt the
big's a bed
bugs.
bug?
They're small, but the swarm is what
Oh,
really
yeah.
counts. Yeah. But yeah, we filmed that video. We both. Yeah, it's just
It's amazing.
It's a
And
long time that we're still here.
we're still here. So we met, and then we met Steve, like who does our does the sound editing
Last
for our
week's
podcast.
episode.
Last week's episode, which you heard. We met him on the internet. We met Lindsay on the internet, like who you've heard on previous episodes. Like it's such like it's kind of amazing to think about the world we live in and how lucky we are to have such diverse groups of friends through this crazy little connection of beeps and boops over the internet.
Four
The fact that
continents connected through a podcast. is
yeah, and
amazing.
we're currently sitting in the living room of an apartment that we're renting through a client that again is an internet company. Like,
Yeah.
like it's this kind of magical kind of set of circumstances. I don't know. I don't want to make this episode just about Joel loves the internet, but
really though, I mean, I certainly it's my entire livelihood. Literally, is making internet things.
what I
for
think is
people,
magical though, that like I'm a couple years older than you, but we still
No, more than a couple.
what, like 4? The people can't see your face though.
Yeah,
they don't know
can't
you're
see
doing
my
like a
goof
whole Jerry
face.
Lewis
Yeah.
thing. He did a whole Jerry Lewis thing. Anyway, But like I barely remember the time before we got our 14.4K modem. I barely remember the time before CompuServe, and like, so the internet has been a part of my life for as long as I've been alive, but it's still a marvel. Like, and I think that's wonderful to think about.
I remember hassling my parents to get AOL. I mean, we had a shitty Macs because I grew up in the period when Steve was not involved there. But
Oh man, didn't we all?
Well, honestly, like, okay. So, side note: Becoming Steve Jobs, which Joel recommended on the show a couple weeks ago. I can't put it down.
I've just cracked into it the first little while. It's so good.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah. Read that book. But yeah, like, that was my first computer, and then Windows 3.11, which had networking, like it had Prodigy built in, which is kind of like
I was in junior high when the Steve Jobs iMac came out.
Oh, I was,
and like, what a
11.
revolution that was!
The
you could
Bondi
feel
Blue.
there was something, even as a child, because it was still OS 9. Like, OS 10 had not come out. The OS was still a nightmare.
It was still the one that Apple had developed without Steve.
And the file system was still better than the Windows file system. It was always better than the Windows file system. But the fact that the product design was so much better, like, I don't remember what grade I was in. I just remember the school I was in. I was between grade 7 or 9. I don't remember which grade I was in.
Probably 8 or 9.
Yeah.
I was probably 11 when that first happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember that, and something happened. Something was different. That computers became a thing.
It became a personal. I mean, it became personal.
It became desirable.
Yeah,
that's, the Steve Jobs, when he came back, he once again for the first time made a personal computer desirable. Because in that period, it was Dells, it was HPs, it was Compaqs. And they were not desirable machines. They were
all clothes.
They were the thing you needed, and you put them in your living room or your office. And what Steve Jobs did is they, for the first time again, made desirable computer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get too far on the Steve Jobs bandwagon, but I have to say, like, reading this book, which I love, genuinely, like, I do have some reservations. Like, I'm nervous that maybe it's a little bit too whitewashed.
Well,
it's maybe a little too nice.
Is it not like Creativity Inc. with Ed Catmull, and then we found out Ed Catmull's a shithead?
Well, no. Okay. Ed Catmull, you are not a shithead. Please, come on our show.
Are we still going after that?
I personally am, yes.
Okay, good.
But I don't remember where I was going.
Guys, did we just find the topic of today's podcast?
I think we
did. I think we did. I know we were spitballing, like, ideas of ads and things like that.
That Ed Catmull's a shithead or not?
Absolutely not. Stop saying that. There needs to be an asterisk because lawyers are going to come after you. I think today's
I believe in you, Ed Catmull.
Topic of conversation might be...
What a coup that would be to get sued by Ed Catmull.
It would be so depressing.
Is that really
He's
a coup?
hero.
That's not okay. I think today's opportunity might be... No, I think it is. I think your topic... I think your topic might be desirable products.
Absolutely. And I just want to briefly pause. So everyone's like, why does Joel hate Ed Catmull?
Van Patten.
We did several episodes about how amazing Ed Catmull is and how great Creativity Inc. is. I mean that one story about how they were doing some terrible stuff about wage fixing.
Which I will say was...
So let me just say that's why I'm saying shithead. I love everything else about him, the company, everything. Just fairness, the wage fixing thing.
I mean, I'm not saying
I'm going to slowly back away now.
I'm not saying it didn't happen, but we only saw that one story on Pando Daily.
And maybe they deserved it.
It didn't blow past that. Like, it was not like a huge, like, life-changing situation.
Sorry.
So maybe it wasn't as bad as we think. Maybe it was misunderstood by Pando Daily, who I know has the tendency to get a little...
They're shitheads, too.
Sure. So...
So desirable products.
Pando Daily, you're on notice, too.
Segue this for the group, because we're going to go off the rails.
So desirable products.
We need you here every week to keep us on focus.
Like, desirable products. If there was something, so because I keep shit on the rails, my job, but literally and figuratively.
Wait, what? How would you literally keep shit on rails?
Let's not talk about that.
Like literally,
but she said literally.
I said literally. I meant figuratively from you, and I meant literally from my actual job perspective. It has less to do with trains, and more just to do with keeping shit on the rails in terms of expression.
Oh, I see.
You're my metaphorical experience. Anyway, we're getting off the rails. And so we're going back to desirable products.
Back to the rails.
Mm-hmm.
Desirable products, guys. If you were looking at back in the day, the computer became a desirable product. What is something else in your current, and I want to say last 3 years,
a new desirable product?
Professional and or personal, What is your new desirable product?
Oof.
Now, can you give us a little more context on desirable?
It could be anything. It could be business, professional.
Because,
it could
like,
be business.
I mean, no,
like, is there new software? Is there a new tool? Is it this crazy little get
Well,
out
like,
of a
to put
microphone?
it this way,
you
like,
have?
there's a lot
Is
of
there
things
a
that I
product that has-
personally desire.
Mhm.
There are many things. I have a
Less
massive
of a
Amazon
luxury.
wish list.
Okay, so
But
less
in
of
the
a luxury.
iMac, I think
I mean, in the game changing of your
Yeah,
life,
the
is there a
zeitgeist.
desirable
Zeitgeist,
project
yeah.
that would make life simpler, easier, better,
Mhm.
fancier, more productive, more relaxing, more enjoyable? Is there that item? Is it in fact is it an iWatch? Is it a Rolex? Is it a car? Is it a vacation? Is it a tool?
Okay, well, I
for you
can
to
answer
do
this in
your
a second.
job?
For
Like,
me,
what are
for me,
these
it's
products?
100%. It's Tesla, and which will become ideally, and what I believe will become the Apple Car if they make one. I think it's that level of making something. So it's funny. I mention Accidental Tech Podcast all the time. They had several episodes
So
about
good.
the Apple Car,
Ugh.
and it could not have been more.
Frustrating
What's the
to
word?
listen to. It's infuriating. I want to throw something
Tone
at
deaf. 3 car guys who can't imagine people who don't like cars who have to buy cars. Like, it's that kind of like perspective of lots of people buy cars who don't give a shit about cars, and they couldn't seem to wrap their minds around that because they're 3 guys who either
want
own
sports cars
BMWs
and
or want Ferraris or own
do
powerful
not
cars.
understand that a vehicle, that a car could be a vehicle to someone, and that it could get
Oh,
you
yeah,
from point
and-
A to point B efficiently and cost
But
effectively.
also the idea that people might spend a lot of money on a car they don't care about. I think this was the crucial part because they were thinking, well, if you're going to spend $80,000, it means you must want a supercar. Like, no. There are people out there who will spend $80,000 on a car they never have to think about. And that's what they didn't get. So I think the Tesla is in that category of people who are spending a fortune on a car they never want to have to care about.
Well, I mean,
The
I
Apple
think-
car will be in the same camp of I will buy an Apple car because like I buy an iPhone, like I would buy an Apple Watch, it's something that is taking care of all the work for me. I do not enjoy I used to run Linux. I used to be a Linux computer person. I used to be passionate about doing all the
tinkering and-
work.
Yeah.
I used to like having a fish tank, but I'm no longer that person. I'm now a person who spends a lot of time on what I do for my career and want the rest of my life to be taken care of for me and will spend money to avoid it. And what that podcast, and I think a lot of pundits forget, is there's a lot of people who have money and will spend that money to not care about things.
Yeah.
So Tesla and the eventual and I think inevitable Apple car are in that camp. What is desirable to me is something that does all the work for me, that when I push the pedal, it goes fast. And that is it. And when it breaks, I say, fix it. And someone fixes
that could
it.
be absolutely any car. You could buy a Mazda and say,
But the
I press the
Tesla-
pedal and it goes fast.
But I
get
feel
from
like
point A to
Elon
point B.
Musk is one of it understands that.
Do you have any attachment to the idea of it being electric? To the idea of it having
Well,
an
I think it has to be
environmentally
electric.
footprint?
Because I don't
the
think-
idea that you can do upgrades.
I don't think
electronically, as
thousands of
opposed to
tiny
upgrading your
explosions per second is an efficient way to
car.
operate
All right,
a
Van
vehicle.
Patten has now reclined.
Yes.
Just for context to this scenario of conversation.
But why do I find the Tesla desirable? Because it has
It's because it's the same people who are putting rockets into space.
Because-
Because that's
no,
amazing.
because they have solved the problem of taking something that I found obscenely inefficient and ugly and have turned it sophisticated and simple. I know how an electric car works. I have a basic physics 101 understanding of electricity. The internal combustion engine is some sort of archaic nonsense that I don't find the purr or the roar of a car exciting to me, which apparently lots of people do.
Lots of people love the
and
roar.
good for them. I find a Tesla and eventual Apple desirable because it is sexy in a way that I find interesting, which is to say simple and beautiful and elegant and
The loudest
efficient.
part is the electric clock.
Like my favorite ad in the world, which is the Rolls-Royce ad from 1959, which is at 60 miles per hour. The loudest sound in the new Rolls-Royce is the electric clock.
All right.
Beautiful, beautiful. Chris,
Van Patten, favorite, most desirable product. What are we feeling? Professional or personal? What do you want? What does the heart desire?
See, I'm gonna step back for a moment and say that the idea of the electric car, I think is very interesting. But I do tend to agree with the people who say that such a product, I think, is going to be very short-lived, because I think once on scale we understand the benefits of the self-driving car, I don't think that people will own their own cars.
but you know that Elon's working on autonomous cars already.
Oh, absolutely.
The
but
first step is...
Sure, but I don't think we're going to own those cars.
No, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
The first step is the cash infusion.
Also, I think with Elon and Tesla, I think it's important to understand how, I mean, in particular, like, there's talk now of a major product that they've announced that they're going to be releasing soon, which is very likely going to be a home battery. That you put into your home. Like,
that seems like
basically like understood.
I thought that was already a thing. Yeah.
He's basically said that this is what this major non-car product is going to be. I think that is the win for Tesla. I don't necessarily think it's the car. I think
Elon
the car
Musk is such... He's trying to put men on Mars. He doesn't give a shit whether people buy a Roadster or not.
Yeah,
This is such a big
he
view.
plays the long game.
Yeah.
Like the longer than any
Elon
of us.
Musk's number one concern in the world, as he's talked about in Star Talk Daily, is artificial superintelligence. Like, this is not a man who cares about whether people buy Roadsters or not.
Yeah. Which is why, like, to me, the Tesla is not the be-all, end-all product. I think it's fascinating.
It's
I
a
would
desirable
love to
product,
own
though.
one.
Yeah.
It's desirable, absolutely. But I don't think that's... I don't see the Tesla being the major catalyst in the new economy.
I completely
in
agree.
the next
100 years from now, we're not going to talk about... In the same way we talk about the Ford Model T, we're not going to talk about the
We're not talking
Model
about
S.
the model. We don't care.
We
about
don't
the
even care
car.
about the car.
I
We're
think
talking
Elon
about
Musk
the...
is going to be hugely
Yeah.
instrumental. I mean, there's
He will be Henry Ford.
unless something happens, like
Henry Ford or Buzz Aldrin. Like,
Yeah,
we're talking
absolutely.
like significant
Visionary, like,
importance.
unless something happens to him, like in terms of health, like I think Elon Musk is going to be easily the most important person.
I mean,
of
I
this.
could say I would put money on Elon Musk could die tomorrow, and he'll be history books for 100 years.
I would tend to be a little nervous about that assertion,
Mm-hmm.
but I think only because I'm deeply skeptical at the way that history books are written.
True.
But anyway, desirable product.
You're thinking it could be a Nikola Tesla situation.
Quite literally, yeah, exactly.
They could be a Tesla 2.0.
It could be Tesla. I mean, to me right now, like the most desirable product is easily the new MacBook. I think the new MacBook.
Let's dig into this.
No, just let him have his answer.
No, sorry. I want to say
This
about
isn't a
most
debate. We're not
desirable.
the debaters.
I think for my personal life, like
He gets to have a voice. as self-appointed moderator of the
I'm the
discussion.
tallest and I weigh the most.
As
I
the
get
self-appointed
to
guest
suggest.
moderator of Not a Real Job
Sorry.
today. I'm going to let Mr. Van Patten have the floor.
Sorry,
Does
Thank
he
you,
get
Miss
to
Sanford.
offer? You
Mr.
can
Van Wilder Patton.
You can counterpoint after, but you got your little Tesla platform,
It's like she's never heard the show.
and he gets to have.
people listen to
He gets
this.
to have a moment.
You know,
someone
people-
has to champion.
People
Van Patten over
listen
here.
because of the back and forth. Anyway, sorry. Look,
Give him a
maybe
chance.
they don't. I'm sorry. Sorry, everyone.
What's your Max? Go.
The new MacBook. So, the number one priority for my life. Wow, that just happened.
What happened?
We don't
Nothing
even
happened.
go to that. Nothing happened.
There's a reason it's a podcast.
The number one priority for my life right now is easy travel, efficient travel, fast, lightweight travel. Disgusting. They just blew kisses. It's gross.
I didn't, in my defense.
Leah did not. It was exclusively Joel.
Okay, can we just do the show for once?
What's your valued product?
But yeah, for me, so the new MacBook, I think, I don't know that it's right for me right now. I would really love the second USB. Even if it's USB-C, like that's fine. I'd love the second one, but otherwise, like the lightweight laptop, to me, it's a pipe dream. Like I have the 11-inch Air right now, and I love it.
Okay, but why the MacBook? what's the MacBook give you that the Air doesn't?
For context, they're gesturing at a computer right now.
Sorry, we're
Sure.
currently recording on an 11-inch
My personal
MacBook Air.
Yeah.
So I'm asking why you want the 12-inch.
I want the higher quality screen.
You want a Retina.
I want the Retina.
You want the Force Touch.
I don't. I mean, I've never used it.
You need to swing into
You
the
have
Apple
not been?
store here
We were
in
going to do it
London.
today, but
Oh,
didn't.
we
And
did
it
this-
was awesome. We went yesterday.
Yesterday, it is, yeah. So
Super cool.
Leah
Super cool.
and my boss Andy,
I don't
we
give
all
a shit
did
about
it,
computers.
and we
Super
all
cool.
played around with the new trackpad, and it is. Everyone said, is this the old one?" And then it was like, "Oh wait, shit, this is the new
Yeah,
trackpad."
I mean, I believe that.
It's
And
magical.
honestly, more important than the trackpad to me is the keyboard.
Well, I didn't.
So-
well, they don't have the new MacBook, so we don't
Right,
know how the
right.
keyboard is yet.
So I have a lot of problems. Every month or so, I have a key that gets stuck,
Really?
or
Are you a-
dust gets in there.
Hammer?
You're clicking hard? Are you a hard clicker?
I'm a very heavy typer,
Mm.
and I think that's partly because I'm doing a lot of programming. I try to be very efficient with my keyboard.
Emphatic writer.
Like this week in particular, my number 8 key has been super sticky. So I had to pull it off and pop it back on again. So I'm very excited for the new keyboard.
Probably just get some honey in there.
Honey, that's probably what it is.
Probably
I'm regular.
just got some
I'm regular
sticky
Pooh
fingers.
Bear here.
Regular Pooh Bear, yeah. Mhm.
So I'm excited about the new keyboard, the new backlighting in particular.
Oh, with the individual LEDs.
The individual LEDs. I'm excited about that. And also, like, to be honest, like, I mean, you both saw my little electronics kit. Like, I have all kinds of adapters.
So cool.
I mean, it's organized, but it's like 5-10 different adapters for different things. I'm excited for a world where there's one cable or 2 cables. Like, we had this discussion earlier about whether lightning is gonna die. I don't think it is. But
I hope you're right, yeah.
But I'm very excited for the idea of as few cables as possible. I don't think that realistically, like, I think doing that right now with the new MacBook would be kind of a pain. I mean, obviously we're using a cable for my microphone. I run backups to a USB drive regularly. Like, I don't know that I could pull it off without inconvenience right now, but I'm very excited for the world where I have to carry as few possible electronic gizmos as possible.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's 23 minutes. Do you have a most desirable product, Leah?
Mine aren't tech related, so I
That
don't know
doesn't
if they're
matter.
necessarily
No one gives a
fitting
shit.
in with the experience.
Yeah,
here.
what do you got?
My desired product is a shoe.
Oh.
Thanks for that. I am looking for. I've been several days in London now, traveling a bit more, and I go through professional and personally a variety of scenarios of footwear in the run of a day, and I am looking for a fashionable sneaker that I can wear with jeans, that I can wear with a pair of leggings, that I can scoot into with like a cute dress, maybe into like able to pull it off in a nicer restaurant. I'm looking for that. Is it a black sneaker? Is it?
So you haven't
No,
found
no,
it?
I haven't found it. It's like am
It's
I
a
looking?
white ballet flat.
But they're not as comfortable, and I've done the ballet flats,
Oh, so
and they're
you
not
need
as good for your
comfort. You
shoes.
didn't
I
specify
want comfort as well. So I'm thinking like, do I go Chuck? Do I go
No,
a
don't
nice
go Chuck.
Lacoste sneaker with like a little alligator on the side? Because I'm looking for
White
that just
Oxford.
like okay, it might be a white Oxford. That's my debate. Like I'm looking for the shoe. I'm looking for a versatile shoe.
I think it's an all black Chuck.
that can go
Leather
from.
Chuck
I would like a
specific.
day to
I
night.
think
I
it
would
is
like
that.
a Monday to Sunday.
Actually, I'm pretty
something
sure
I can
that
pull out
pattern
for
recognition,
travel.
Case Pollard has a
The shoe.
shoe.
There's a shoe. There's a shoe that exists out there. There is a
That's what I
working
thought.
woman shoe that exists out there. I'm looking for a shoe that can go from office to trade show to cocktails. That can do Saturday market and Friday night drinks with friends. I'm looking for that multi-purpose. No, it's not the perfect shoe. It doesn't go with a lovely cocktail dress by any means. But it's something that if I'm traveling, we've come to London. I have brought 4 pairs of shoes with me, and it's ridiculous. And I hate that I'm traveling with this many pairs of shoes. I have a rubber boot. I have my Hunters in case it rains because it's London. Welcome to rain. I have a cute little Sperry nautical themed loafer.
What color?
They're burgundy and beige, and I
Okay.
love them to pieces. They are not the most comfortable thing to do any sort of long distance walk. So
My
I can
primary
do.
shoe here in London is a Sperry. So
I love my Sperry. I find they give me blisters, so I can't do long distances. And I can't do them with the fancy pants I brought because my fancy pants are an ankle cut, and I would need to have a stocking with them, and I didn't bring that. So it becomes a whole thing. So I'm juggling shoes to pant ratio. It seems to be a thing that women have to deal with more. Perhaps I'm being sexist in that one, but it seems to be a thing I have to deal with more. Pant hem length gets into a whole thing. I'm looking for that versatile shoe that will cross over in a variety of scenarios.
I feel
that
like it's a white Oxford.
Is
it's
it a white Oxford?
with a
I do love
light
the Oxford.
broguing pattern.
Ooh, that could be good.
Sure.
And I'm being shown over here. No, that is not me at all.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Joel.
Joel was showing me a shoe that it looked like a Doc Marten. It was not me
You
at
should
all.
probably give up, Joel.
So I'm
You don't
wondering, is
understand fashion.
it the Oxford or is it more of a Lacoste casual tennis sneaker? Like that's my debate. I'm looking for something that I can
No,
easily
that's
take today, for instance. Can I go from market to cocktails to dinner with a single pair of shoe? I want one pair of shoe that can do this.
If
I
you
want a
can-
versatile shoe. What do like the traveling business person do?
If you can realistically call it a sneaker and feel comfortable in that assessment, it's not what you want.
It's not what I want at all.
No.
I think it is the Oxford. You might be right.
I think it's the
You might-
Oxford.
you might-
I feel good about the Oxford. Listen,
I
I'm from New
feel-
York, fashion capital
You
of
are
the
New
world.
York.
Like,
I am in
get
love
it.
with your glasses and your scarf, and I feel I'm going to take all the advice from you at this point.
I'm casual.
Okay, can I just point out that Crispin Patton, I know you cannot see him, listeners.
Mhm.
The thick rim glasses are just amazing.
The killer.
So perfectly crisp, so perfectly fashionable. Since moving to Barcelona, seems to be rocking. I'm not sure if you rock this in New York or not, but is rocking a very fashionable scarf.
This is at
and
the
looking
encouragement of my French
very
friends. in
top
Barcelona.
shop trendy right now, and it's
Thank you.
it is very London chic.
I
Very London chic.
think you do want overall. I think you're looking for something close to the schoolgirl shoe.
Why do you keep showing me Amish shoes?
Because it is.
Why don't
same
you
for
love
Joel.
me?
No,
Why
no.
are you
I
showing-
sorry.
Guys, seriously, Joel Kelly's taste in shoes.
I
While
think-
you see what is on his own feet are incredible and fun, what he is showing
You're all
me
dicks. And I
is
hate
just
you.
the pits. You
Well, on that
have
note,
such fun shoes. Why are you showing me just
Because
the
I
boring
think
Kmart special?
you know, it turns out I hate you.
Apparently.
I hate you. I hate you. I hate you, and most especially the listener. I hate you.
No,
28 minutes
listener, he
in.
loves you so much, listener. Don't take his,
Don't speak for
his
me.
jests
Oh my
seriously.
goodness.
All right.
On that note,
Off the rails, Steve. I'm sorry.
yeah. Well, thank you for listening to this crazy episode of Not a Real Job. Like we said earlier, we're trying to get as many in as we can before Joel goes back to the land of the maple leaf.
Canada.
Sure.
It's part of
think
our
you
heritage
mean
commercial. It wasn't
The
just super
houses,
random.
the
Okay.
people.
The village. No,
So yeah, where
it
can
means
you
Canada.
And Canada is its name.
You
Anyway,
can find us all over the internet. We are at Twitter at NarjCast, NARJcast, at Chris Van Patten, at Joel Kelly. Specifically, Leah, you're not on Twitter.
I'm not, and I love it.
We need to fix that.
You don't. I'm never joining. But listeners, I will
she's
suggest.
twitter.com/Epcot Center. That's not her,
Listeners,
but I fucking
cannot-
love that account.
The Canadian in me has to remind you that if you're tooling around on the internet and you're looking for something to do, check out the Canadian part of our heritage commercials. Oh my god, they're amazing.
Also, you can find a lot of red green on YouTube.
Yeah.
So much.
I feel like we had a whole episode about heritage commercials.
A lot of
before.
shit.
Heritage
You can do
and
duct
red
tape.
green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taken care of.
You can find us on Stitcher, which is a podcast downloading platform, notarealjob.com/Stitcher. Also on iTunes, of course, notarealjob.com/iTunes. And we love your reviews. They mean the world to us to hear that, people actually listen to this piece of crap.
It's delightful.
Oh.
Guys, come on.
It's a
little
delightful piece of
enthusiasm
crap.
here.
And yeah, your questions, of course, are number one. We love to answer questions. We love to help you out. notarealjob.com/questions will get you to the forum that you can use. And of course, info@notarealjob.com or questions@notarealjob.com will get you to the right place in email. And I think
That's it.
no gear picks this week. Just, go back to notarealjob.com/gear where we have hundreds probably by this point. I mean, certainly dozens.
Oh, dozens, if not several.
Yeah, we've got a lot of gear picks. So go check those out. And we'd love your support through that channel. So there we go. Thank you so much for listening. We will talk to you next week.
Bye, everyone. I love you.
Adios.